right, parents. Go ahead and tuck the kids in. PG time is over.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Everything Paranormal Podcast Show 2021, Episode 15, with your host, Paramike, and in the deep, dark dungeon, which I just repaired, or I should say rebuild, is the lovely Gothic, and I don't give a fuck still, for 2021, is the lovely...
Paralore.
That's right. Well, we got some stuff that we're going to continue talking about from episode 14, which was the New Year's Eve show, or New Year's Day show. I can't remember which. And Paralore still got some stuff to finish off and everything.
Putting it lightly.
Yeah.
I got a shitload of emails I gotta fucking do.
Yeah, I know. And I have two stories. One is the Skinwalker Ranch.
Okay.
That I haven't read yet, and I'm still trying to get used to this. Because my laptop's on my right side, and my computer monitor is on the left, and I have to get used to this goofy thing. Mm-hmm. The other one is... Uh-oh, where'd it go? What the crap is this? The other one is actually Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch.
Okay.
That I need to talk about, and I have to find another version of it. Because New York Times is being a dick. And everything to me.
We forgot to mention in the last episode that we did get some movies.
No, we did the show before we got the new movies.
Yeah.
So, I didn't have to.
4 movies that we got, 2 of them are Medea related, Tyler Perry related.
Yep.
Medea goes to jail and a family funeral.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, well, we kind of have a collection of his movies for those.
Yeah, we do. Okay, never mind.
Got the whole collection of Friday the 13th from beginning to end, and it's all old school.
Yeah.
I didn't see that it had the Friday the 13th remake on it, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But from what I heard, a lot of people hated it. Which don't surprise me with remakes.
Yeah. And then you got the Cobra Kai movie.
Oh, Cobra Kai TV series, yeah. I got the first 2 seasons.
Yeah, you thought it was the entire movie, which I also thought too when I looked at it.
It was a movie, but no, it was the entire series from YouTube Red.
Yeah, that's what confused me. Because, when I looked at it, I thought, ooh, Cobra Kai, the movie, she'll be happy with this. Back then, I was into the Karate Kid genre, but then it just got like, no thanks. It looks like the story out of each one, and then when Jackie Chan and Little Bow Wow did it, it was like, okay, that's it, I'm done.
Wait, that wasn't Little Bow Wow.
Yeah, it was.
No, it was Will Smith's son. That was in the reboot.
Was it?
Jackie Chan. Yeah, it was Will Smith's son.
Okay, I didn't. Then I heard it was Little Bow Wow as a kid.
Originally, it was supposed to have been, but
that's the only thing I knew for the other version of Karate Kid with Jackie Chan being the role of Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, well.
So.
From what I heard on the Jackie Chan, the Karate Kid with the Jackie Chan doing it was Pat Morita, or however you say his name.
Yeah, you said it right.
I don't think his relatives wanted to, give out the rights to have someone else have the name Miyagi. Due to the fact it was a whole different it was a different setting.
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
But it worked. I mean, it wasn't Miyagi, but Mr. Han, it worked.
Yeah.
And 2, with Jackie Chan, if you don't know who the fuck Jackie Chan is, again, get the fuck out the room.
Yeah. Although I wonder if it was kind of portrayed to Mr. Miyagi's brother or something. Where Mr. Miyagi came from.
Jackie Chan is a martial artist.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deal with stunt doubles. He does it all himself.
Oh yeah.
And every freaking, from what I remember, Jackie Chan when he was like really young.
Mm-hmm.
He started doing movies. He would do his own stunts.
Yeah, right.
And after each movie, you would see how the stunt would fuck up or fail or something like that. And he breaks almost every body part.
I love that one. And
he did. I think he did break one when they did the Karate Kid reboot. I think he broke one.
He broke two. He broke his
two?
left leg and his right arm at the time. But there was one movie where it was almost a fatal death.
Oh yeah.
And
he almost died.
Yeah, Dad had to deal with that aircraft, hovercraft, whatever you want to call it. You know, that big ass thing.
I forget.
I forgot what movie that was too, but I remember the scene.
I know a lot of his old movies was when he was like really really young.
Right.
And I know he did a movie after the Karate Kid reboot, but I forget the name of it. And I never got a chance to see it.
I do too.
But preview look of it looked really fucking good.
Yeah, I mean, the one I remember is where this hovercraft that like blows up with air and everything and goes on water.
Yeah.
And this giant size Tonka truck with the fucking huge ass wheels. He came twice near death on that one.
Yeah.
I just don't remember the damn movie, but yeah. Right now, I'm uploading episode 14 to our YouTube channel, because that's the one thing I forgot to do. But it's up on our other podcast shows, sites that we have. And we have the newest one, which is Apple Podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap. It's actually on Apple Podcast, iTunes. Holy crap. So if you have an iTunes account, there you go. You can find it right there.
Freaking, one thing I could say with the Cobra Kai TV series, I think YouTube Red really fucked up how they did the DVD cassette, the DVDs of the first two seasons. It was actually, if you notice that, anyone who actually watched Cobra Kai noticed, like, the first two seasons they were showing, like, backdraps. Certain things from the past of '84, and actually at first when I saw the first free episode of YouTube Red, go figure. I wasn't sure if I was gonna like it until a friend of mine who was able to get me tried to get me at least a few of the first episodes.
Yeah.
Showed it to me and explained, they're showing parts of the older movie or older movies, but it's tying in with the TV series of Cobra Kai. And I went, oh, okay. I mean, and the funny thing, a little tidbit for people who don't know, William Zebka, who does Johnny, he is a martial artist.
Yep.
He got into martial arts right after the fucking first movie.
Yeah.
Apparently he knew.
Yeah.
Down the road it would come back around. Ralph Macchiano.
Ralph Macchiano.
Thank you. He had no clue. And it's funny, William Zebka, he would have his name out there usually after that. And of course after the other two Karate Kid movies.
Uh-huh.
Before Hilary fucking Swank freaking did one. That was a fucking bust.
Yeah.
Not saying that Hilary Swank didn't do okay. She did okay, but Hilary Swank, she had that character that you just want to pop in the face.
Yeah, literally.
Especially mouthing off to her freaking teacher, freaking Miyagi.
Yeah.
The first two seasons with Cobra Kai, I actually gave it a 4. I mean, I got both seasons. Season 3 isn't out on DVD yet. Go figure. But I did see a clip that Trixie Mattel and Katya did on their little YouTube thing, Two Queens Would Like to Watch. And it's like Netflix movies.
Yeah.
And they showed
Two Queens I like to watch but are quarantined.
Yeah, they showed like Cobra Kai, like maybe like little parts of Cobra Kai 3. Like that were basically tied with the other with the previous two seasons.
Yeah.
And it looks good. It looks really, really good.
Just gotta
and
wait
in fact,
for it to come out.
From what I saw of to me it looked like a teaser, but almost like a spoiler. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet. Johnny actually joins Miyagi-Do as a teacher.
I wonder how that one would work.
Huh?
I wonder how that would work.
That's one of the
Yeah, I know.
scenes of the clip Trixie Mattel and Katya were showing.
Yeah.
And it does look really good. I mean, some of my friends call me, some of my friends on Facebook call me nostalgic. Figure I'm an 80s kid. Early 80s. And there were a lot of pretty good song choices in Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
Of course.
I noticed that.
I don't fucking understand why the fuck Foreigner is considered rock. It's not rock music.
No.
It's freaking soft ballad. Where you want to fucking sleep to.
Yeah. And then they also had a few music that I have, like Bruno Mars, Perm, was in there. I'm like, what the fuck? I was just going to bed because I was running around all day yesterday by myself trying to get a brand new vacuum cleaner, a new desk for Paralore for the studio because she seriously needed one, and a few other things. And then I had to run back out after I came back here to go get
couple of house items,
and then come back, drop them off, and then I had to go back out again to go get dinner. And this is the fucked up thing ever. Normally, you'll find a bus stop almost like that.
Oh, yeah.
I know where the bus stop is to this Italian restaurant, and I got off of there. Then leaving, trying to play chicken across the road with a large pizza and 2 small boxes of calzones, which I love from this Italian place. Onto the other side.
Food is all by scratch.
Yes. Onto the other side of the street, walking back towards the local hospital.
Yeah.
And not one freaking telephone pole or sign had a bus stop logo on a damn thing. I walked all the way down to the freaking hospital, the bus stop, just to wait for the bus.
Yeah.
Then I get some fucking yuppie, dumbass rent-a-dick telling me I couldn't stand out at the bus stop waiting for the bus when the 2 just went up and this fucking idiot saw it. What kind of shit is that? That really blew the rest of my night. But at least one good thing came out of after I got home and I ate. I bought me a Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Last one that Walmart had. And I bought the game that I've been watching on YouTube, which one person has not finished it yet. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until we got the stimulus check, and I said, fuck it. I'm going to buy me the game and the Nintendo Switch. So I got Luigi's Mansion 3 for Nintendo Switch.
Now, I just have to say this. I used to play video games. Where the hell is Luigi's Mansion 1 and 2?
That's a good point. Now you think you just slapped it in my head. Since you just slapped it in my head, that's something I may have to look for now.
But there's actually one thing. If you notice, in the video game, Luigi's like scrawny as shit, big fucking head, scrawny neck.
Yep. And he's a fucking coward.
in the cartoon, he's a fucking pussy.
even in the mansion, he's a pussy. He
And
enters certain rooms and he's like, I'm like, what the fuck?
And Mario's fucking apparently the badass.
Yeah.
And in the movie with I think it's
John Hopkins played Mario.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
John
Dad didn't get
Leguizamo
married.
played Luigi.
Yeah.
In the Super Mario Brothers.
And the funny thing is,
And Luigi in that
Luigi
one wasn't a pussy.
had balls.
I know, that's the difference. It's like, what the fuck? In the video games, Luigi's a fucking pussy. In Luigi's Mansion 3, he is a scared pussy. I was like, just watching it on YouTube, I'm like, okay. Somebody had to modify the game just to make Luigi look like a pussy in it. I'm thinking, oh, Luigi's going to be like Mario in this game. No, there's no mod to the damn thing. Luigi in Luigi's Mansion 3 is a pussy. What the fuck? But I love it. But the controls on the damn thing, holy shit. Talk about hand and eye coordination like a mother. God. It's like trying to drive a car backwards and without looking backwards.
Yeah.
You have to focus on, let's see, left, right, gas pedal, brake, clutch, kink, kink. No. It hurts my thumbs a while, but I love it.
The other DVD that I got, I was very unsure about it due to the fact I saw one preview of it. The Craft's Legacy. I mean, anybody from the 90s, high school and shit like that, like myself, remembers The Craft. With, I forget her last name, but her name's like Ferusha. She played in Waterboy. She basically being the badass of all of them. A preview that I saw was like these kids, basically 3 kids, and the girl Lily shows up at a new school and everything, becomes friends with them, and they're doing witchcraft and shit. And I thought, and just by the effects, I'm like, okay. And in fact, it's done by Blumhouse, or Bloomhouse, however you want to fucking call it. They're not really that good when it comes to special effects.
No shit.
And I'm like, oh god, Blumhouse, really?
Bloomhouse.
I mean, a lot of the special effects is like freaking telekinesis shit, which, who hasn't really seen that before with witches? But, one scene that I'm gonna say, and I know it's a movie, and you know, a lot of people base witchcraft on freaking movies. You don't fucking just move your hand and someone just flies.
No.
And if you're gonna do something like that, at least have the fucker, like, fly, like, down the hallway. Not, like, 10 feet backwards. Or to the floor.
Yeah.
The ending, the climax of the movie, it was actually pretty good. I would have done a little bit better. Would have thought something better, but the effects of the climax of the movie, it did look really, really good. Then, of course, going back to the preview, like, the end of the preview, they're showing the book, and Nancy's pictures in it. In other words, Nancy Downs, from The Craft. And I'm like, wait a minute, why the fuck is her picture in it? She's not even in the fucking movie. And I'm like, okay, so there has to be, like, either it's a hidden message, or there's, like, something that's a shocker in some part of the movie. Spoiler alert, shocker is at the very end. Lily, she finds out she's adopted. Go figure. Oh, I can relate. And goes to see her mother for the first time. And the woman that she sees as her mother is Nancy Downs. The girl who played her is in a cameo, which is at the very end, before the shit goes into credits. And I'm like, watching the end of it, I'm thinking, okay, that voice sounds familiar. I mean, don't really remember the dialogue, but she, like, says, I'm Lily. I'm your daughter. Goes to a quick second of a camera cut to the woman she's talking to, and it's Nancy Downs. I'm like, okay, so that's where that is. That's what it is. The other three girls, if you tie it, seem like, basically, it's like all four of them are kids of the other three. Lily happens to be her kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, so there's the fucking little curveball from the preview. I was like, okay. With that in mind, with her having the cameo, and what Paramike actually saw online about possibly another craft coming out sometime down the road, but it's basically about Nancy.
Yeah, I wish I didn't see that.
And I'm like, I mean, he showed it to me and he thought it was a trailer. He knows how I can tell if it's a teaser, a real trailer, or just something a fan made up. I'm watching it, and I went, that's something a fan made up. It looks too good to be true, as in, it looks like a fan made it, just by the look of it. But the story of it does look like it is. It looks like it's a teaser. And I hate teaser trailers. That, I really don't know how to really fucking time that one. If that really is a go. I mean, Nev Campbell, who was in that movie, was also in Scream. In every fucking Scream movie. It's usually every fucking Scream movie, it's about her. And people that, I guess, hate her or something like that. Due to the fact it started from her boyfriend.
I thought she was in the first witchcraft movie.
In The Craft? Yeah.
Yeah, the first one.
She did that too.
The very, very first one.
Yeah, she did that too. I believe she did that after one of the first two Screams that she did. I really, really did like the original Scream. I mean, hell, it was directed by Wes Craven. One hell of a freaking horror director. Mm-hmm. I mean, hell, he gave everybody a Nightmare on Elm Street. Even though he dropped it after the first movie.
Yeah.
I did not like the second one that much. I mean, usually what I see with certain horror movies, if there is a character in there that actually knows, like, the psychology of a horror movie, or something of that nature, usually they're the one that died. They're part of the kill count.
Yeah.
But he didn't die in the first one. They brought him back for the second one. I'm like, okay. So they're kind of making him basically like the horror professor, basically.
Is there even such a thing?
I don't know.
No.
But in like, not the beginning, but in like almost towards the middle of Scream 2, they kill him off, which I did not see coming. And normally I could spot that shit. Of course, I was still in high school at the time, and I was still trying to figure out what the fuck I wanted to do. Due to the fact my first horror movie audition kind of almost broke me a little bit. Due to the fact it was, I've stated what it was before quite a few times. I'm not repeating it again.
No. If you want to listen to it, go back to the other episodes where it was done.
I did not see him being killed in it in the second one. I didn't see that shit coming. And normally I could spot it.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, I did not see that coming. That was actually pretty good. I mean, I like Scream 2, but I didn't really like basically the killer ended up being I mean, everybody knows it. The Ghostface's voice, it's always someone using...
Different.
Huh?
It's always someone different.
Well, it's always like some guy doing Ghostface over the phone.
Right.
And, of course, running around as a stunt, doing the stunts. But the killer is usually revealed in basically about the end, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the killer ends up being her boyfriend's mother, who did Jackie in Roseanne.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, yeah, I don't like the movie. I went, nope, I'm giving it a 2.
I gave it a 0.
Because I can't stand her.
I gave it a 0.
Scream 3, I liked it. I gave it a 3.
It had George Carlin in it, right?
No. I told you before, that was Scary Movie 3.
Oh.
Scary Movie 3 was making fun of The Ring, in which George Carlin did a cameo in.
Oh, okay.
Scream is a whole different premise. Scream 3, due to the fact that kind of again back at Nev's character ends up being like a brother she never knew, which I actually like that spin. I did see Scream 4 a little while ago, simply because a friend of mine sent it to me through Facebook. It said, hey, check out Scream 4. Apparently she didn't like it. And I watched it again, related to Neve Campbell's character. Turns out to be her cousin. Which was really fucking retarded. I gave that about a 2.5. Simply because, I mean, in a way, you could kind of tell by about the third movie, it's always someone that has to deal with Nev's character. And not many people know it. And I sent a message back to my friend on Facebook, said, do not send me that bullshit again. She goes, hated it, didn't you? I'm giving it basically 2.5. Main reason, the premise, I mean, shit, you could tell from a mile off. But at least it was a little bit different. And the kills were a little bit more fast.
Yeah.
Not saying like fast kills aren't interesting, but if you're gonna see a horror movie and you're rooting for and you're hoping somebody in the movie dies, or you know somebody's gonna die, you're gonna want to see that scene, not a fucking quick one. And which goes to my point. When Chris Jericho was in what I call Alcatraz, before he left, he did a storyline with Kevin Owens where they were best friends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the segment, and it was a Monday Night Raw, the segment was the best friends ceremony thing. And at first, with how Chris is in those type of, for his, if he's a good guy or a heel. I mean, he was actually a heel then. He was going over the top, which he always does. Heel or bad, heel or good guy, don't matter. But you knew one of those two was going to somebody was going to turn on the other, but you didn't know who. And Kevin Owens gives him something. This is back when Chris started doing like the list thing. Gets a new clipboard saying like, he thinks it's his list, but he's looking at it. Underneath the clipboard, you see Kevin Owens' list. Or a list of Kevin Owens. And you find out at that second that Kevin Owens is the one that turned on him. And the way and his premise around that, because he explained it a couple times. When you see a horror movie, you're going to want to, and there's a kill scene coming in, you're going to want to see that entire scene play out. Not automatically get a fucking quick kill where you don't even know what the where it's retarded looking. But my critic rating for Scream 4, basically about 2.5, Then I saw that there was a preview. I'm hoping it's not a trailer, not a teaser, about Scream 5. I mean, the preview I saw, it looked like a teaser, and I was hoping it was not a teaser. But it looks really good. Now, Paramike, like you said, he has 2 news articles he wants to go through. And I still, again, have a fucking plethora in my emails. One I had, which a lot of them are basically on the 12th of November. I'm going to start I'm going to start basically like the first 2 that I'm looking at. Then I'm going to give it over to Mike, Paramike.
Before you do, I want to say thank you to everybody that's liking our Facebook page. We are up at 250 people following our Facebook page, and 246 people like it.
They can start sharing it with everybody else and get them to start listening too.
Oh yeah. So if you guys can, just go over to facebook.com/EP Podcast Show 2021, and the EPP is capitalized and the S in show is capitalized, just to let you guys know. Ooh, excuse me. So I'm happy with that. And if you have paranormal stories, our number is 724-856-0031. Give us a call and let us know your stories, and I'll paste them together and I'll put it on the show.
Or if you don't feel comfortable calling but you want to email,
It's everythingparanormal2021@gmail.com.
Okay, my first story to start us off, back in November 12th.
Oh, yay!
Let's see. I'm waiting for the stupid thing to load up here. It's the news article I'm about to read is archaeologists discover Viking Age ship burial in Norway. I don't know if that's a sucking ship. Oh, don't tell me. Come on. What? Wait.
Uh-oh. Watch computers acting stupid again.
No, for some reason okay. Scratch that article. It wasn't gonna work. For some reason, the same was like not found.
That usually happens.
Have Paramike read you his first story while I fucking try to work this damn thing here. Hang on. Wait. Okay, here we go. This story, now I'm actually about to read, is basically like, do these photos prove that people really can travel through time? And of course, you know, back to the getting rid of the advertisement things here. I mean, it's supposed to be like a slideshow, but I'll read what the article is, with each one, and I'm gonna send it to Paramike, which I'm about to do right now. Oh, that's reply. Wrong one.
No, you want the arrow.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to find it. No, never mind. Okay. Sent to you, dear.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm gonna read. Hopefully, Paramount can get the photos up on our website for you guys to see for yourselves. The article was done by I'm probably gonna end up butchering it. Rassi de los Santos.
Very good.
Okay, now premise of the news article. If you're a fan of Back to the Future, then you're also a fan of time travel. Nothing fascinates the internet more than conspiracy theories. And when you toss in purported time travelers in unexplainable images and videos, internet users are bound to have a field day. The question has always remained the same. Does time travel exist? Many people will say no, but there are dozens of videos and pictures that say otherwise. Or at least they appear to do so. Oh god. Oh, Rassi has to be a thing, has to be, almost like a nerd, like, not nerd, but, almost like a science fiction nerd. Basically, get out your flux capacitor. Definitely a definitely a nerd. Science fiction nerd, definitely. The photos videos will definitely shake you up and make you wonder if time travelers really do exist. Let's see. Is there explanation in it? Or what? Let's see. Okay. And the title for the first photo I'm looking at is that what? Okay. The photo of the person I just looked at that was taken, the photo on the left, from what I'm seeing, was taken in the Bronx in 1933. The man in the photo looks insanely similar to Jay-Z. He is leaning on a railing and giving a signature stone look into the camera. Could it be just another coincidence? A relative that looks similar to Jay-Z since he grew up in Brooklyn? Or could this actually be Jay-Z? I mean, I'm not into rap. I mean, I don't know. But possibly. Okay, next photo is Granddaddy McConaughey. That means if you think you and your relatives look alike, think again. Matthew McConaughey's doppelganger takes the cake. A Reddit user posted the picture of her great-great-grandfather after realizing that he looks exactly like the Oscar winner. Imagine the two standing side by side in the same outfit. Would you be able to tell them apart? Yeah. McConaughey doesn't like mustaches. Time traveling to the beach. The photo I'm about to read about, taken in 1913 along the shoreline of San Jose, California, seems pretty innocent until you take a closer look. The man in the center of the photo looks out of place and confused, and everyone aside from him seems to be dressed in their finest clothes. What makes the picture even more interesting is the man to his left, who seems to be wondering why the man in the center is present. The man to his right, simply behind him, looks to be surprised as well. Is the man in the center a time traveler, or was he just poorly dressed and being judged by his peers? Or is the picture fake? You have to make their own call there. So with that being said, I'm going to have a little quick look here. If the individual I'm looking at in the photo in the center, yeah, he does look out of place. And confused. It could also be a way of saying, this is what happens when you get really fucking high and drunk off your ass, and you end up waking up somewhere where you don't know where you were, how you got there. Especially if it's a fine attire type of thing. Gettysburg Playground. Now we all know where Gettysburg is, now don't we? Now, Gettysburg didn't have a playground during its infamous battle, and it was not suitable for children. In fact, it was probably best that kids stayed away from the area. In the photo, there seems to be a child on the battlegrounds. Did he come from the future? Was he the water boy? Okay, that just means you're a moron. What was going through his head? The person who claims to be the boy in question is Andrew Basiago. He claims to be a time traveler who had been traveling through time since the age of 10. Basiago claimed to jump from 1972 to 1863 to hear Abraham Lincoln deliver the Gettysburg Address, and even claimed to have teleported to Mars with Barack Obama in 1980. If that's not enough to get your head spinning, Basiago ran for president 2016 and apparently planned to run again in 2020. Apparently that never happened. Considering his experiences hanging out with presidents, he'd probably be a good one if elected. Or crazy. Now, again, if anybody who knows me, history wasn't really my strong suit if the paranormal was put into it. One thing I know about Gettysburg is they did have, like, drummers. Or drummer boys, or whatever they called them. But one thing that's not clear on that is what age they were. What do you think, dear? He just gave me a I don't know sign. Next, out of fashion sense. There's quite a few people I look at that don't have fashion sense, period. For instance, my ex-best friend. She does not have fashion sense.
She doesn't have a brain cell.
If you think the fashion scene in the 1970s and the early 1900s was the same, you could be right. Or you could be wrong. Because this may be a time traveler trying to show people from the early 1900s what punk really looked like. Which I'm looking at. Not sure. Just someone looks like they really need to wash their clothes. The man that sticks out in the photo is the one with the mohawk. That is not a mohawk. Paramite, come here for a minute. I'm going to show him this picture. How the fuck does that look like a mohawk? Because that is not no mohawk.
It's not. It's a skid mark.
Thank you. The man in the photo is supposedly to the person, but the article said that his haircut looked like a mohawk. Not a mohawk. He looked rather unpleasant or confused. Is he upset with the fashion sense of the time, or perhaps with the people around him? Did anyone ask our possible time traveler any questions? It's uncertain. One thing that is certain, though, is that so-called mohawks have been around for thousands of years, consistently coming into style, fading out of style, coming back once again, and fading away once more. Is this man a time traveler, or is he just stylish? We'll let you decide. That is not stylish. And neither is his clothes. I rest my case. Now, let's see. Face Off was actually what this one's coming up to be. Nicolas Cage is 54 years old. Or so we're told. Is Cage actually 156 years old, considering that he might be from the Civil War era? The picture of the unnamed man on the right was taken in Bristol, Tennessee, around 1870, and his features are very similar to Cage. Let your Paralore here take a little bit look at that here. Ooh. I wouldn't say 156. The guy looks a little bit like Cage. But I don't think so, but feature-wise in the face, possibility, but one thing I know about Nicolas Cage, a lot of his movies and appearances and stuff like that, he's clean-shaven. And doesn't have peach fuzz for a fucking mustache.
That's a rat.
Okay. Next photo. The man with the shades. Which I'm looking at. The photo was reportedly taken in British Columbia during the 1940s. This photo shows mostly old people dressed similarly. Or elderly, if people want to go fucking politically correct. In this show, we don't do politically correct shit.
See now, old fucks with the pens diapers.
In the right side of the frame, though, there is a man wearing sunglasses and a t-shirt. Looking very much like a hipster. He looks like he's from the 90s, or even today. The possible time traveler is also holding a camera in his hands. It all seems rather modern, no? Too modern for the 1940s. Is he a time traveler or just a guy with a killer fashion sense? The shades? No. The haircut? No.
Looney escaped from the asylum. Need a straitjacket.
I mean, yeah, his clothing's does not fit the photo. And the camera, I can't tell what the fuck kind of camera it is, because that part of the photo is a little really not there. But this guy, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure they had sunglasses back then.
That's photoshopped. It's a bullshit picture.
That's what Paramike says, people. You guys be the judge when you see the photos, if you could put them up. Looks like a cell phone. If you think 1973 is the year that cell phones came out, think again. If this photo is anything to go by, Martin Cooper was 50. Martin Cooper was 35 years too late. That's the photo in question. This clip shows a group of... Oh, I love how this is said. Gal pals. How about girls that were friends with one another? Watched by a camera, smiling. Seems normal enough, right? Except one of the girls walking by seems to be holding something next to her ear as she smiles and laughs. Many internet users think that she is a time traveler with a cell phone. Maybe she's on the phone with her future girlfriends, letting them know that she made it to 1938 safely. Another possibility is that it's a hairbrush or even a small handbag. Well, I know back in the 1930s they did have little wallets that started coming out that went around the wrist. I think. Oh, depending on. Well, yeah. If you're in like formal attire and stuff like that, they had little Coach bags that they would have on their wrist. That's what it looks like to me, but I don't know. I'm not really much of a person anymore. Never die hard. I don't know what the hell that means, but we're going to find out. If you're wondering if Bruce Willis has a twin brother, you're wrong. These pictures are years apart. Or are they? The man on the right is General Douglas MacArthur. The general even has the same squint look that Willis gives in his action films. If that is Williams on the... Oh, yeah, Williams. If that is Willis on the left, it doesn't seem as if he'll die hard anytime soon. Okay, that pun is just really fucking stupid. No. That's not even close. That is not even close to Bruce Willis at all. I don't give a shit. Circus phone is our next. Didn't we just watch a clip of a woman holding a phone? Yes, we did, but this one is slightly different. The video clip above is from Charlie Chaplin's 1928 film, The Circus. In this film, we see a woman, far right, walking at a normal pace before stopping. And her body language shows something close to confusion. Is woman really from 1928, or is she from the future? Sadly, chances are slim to none that she's from the future. In 1924, Siemens. That's the word. Saying it the way it's written. Developed a compact, pocket-sized carbon microphone/amplifier device. By 1929, Siemens had several different products that aided hearing. It's safe to say that 1928 was this woman's home all along. Let's see. Yeah, I would agree. Okay, camera phone for the win. Oh god, I'm looking at fucking Mike Tyson. If you had the picture to travel through time, had the power to travel through time, where would you go? A Mike Tyson boxing match wouldn't be the worst thing, especially when Tyson was in his prime. Would that be before he bit somebody's ear off? When he was in the ring. Or I should say half the guy's ear off. In this clip, we could see a person holding what looks like a camera phone with the lens perfectly visible. The year was 1995, and technology was fairly advanced. But this electronic device looks far too similar to a smartphone from today's era. Skeptics say that it's simply electronic device from the time. One that was very common in 1995 was the AGFA Studio Cam. Yeah. It was. And it is. 1995 Studio Cam. midlife crisis, or more like a century crisis. And I'm looking at what's his name? Okay, there's his name, Johnny Depp. This is what this is supposed to be about. Again, midlife crisis, more like a century crisis. Coincidence? I think not. The Pirates of the Caribbean star looks an awful lot like the man from an old photo. Johnny Depp being a time traveler would explain so much. I highly doubt it. Depp has been on a steady downward spiral lately. Possibly one that's lasted a century. We guess some things don't get better with age. Downward spiral, nothing. He's blacklisted from freaking Hollywood. Maybe. Well, photo on the left that I'm looking at. I would say after he did Edward Scissorhands. That's what it looks like anyway. But, I don't know. Mummies don't wear Swiss watches is the next one. Archaeologists are puzzled and astonished to discover a Swiss watch inside a 400-year-old sealed tomb in China. How was it possible that a tomb, sealed for 400 years, and dating back to the Ming Dynasty, meaning 1368 through 1644, contained a Swiss watch? Some theorize that time travelers could have come from the future and accidentally dropped the modern ring in an ancient location. We're pretty sure that's not the case, but like the lottery, you never know for sure. No, lottery shit's fucking dumb, okay? I really wouldn't call that a Swiss for a watch. But then again, rings didn't have watches on them, so I don't know. Time traveling, teleportation, Angel, the Flash is the questions for this photo I'm about to explain. If you want a video that could possibly make you believe in time traveling, teleportation, angels, or even the Flash, as in comic book The Flash, you found it. In what appears to be street footage from Japan, we see a motorcyclist in the last seconds of his life, at least we almost did. As shown in the clip, a truck is about to crash into the motorcyclist, likely killing him. In the last second, a flash appears from the bottom right. The truck driver stops, gets out, and is filled with confusion and shock, believing he had hit someone. The motorcyclist, just as confused as the truck driver, walks slowly to the curb to sit down. The supposed traveler simply walks away, with their hands in their pockets and face covered. As intense as this was, a video game company later confirmed that this was a promotional stunt for a game called Dragon Totem Girl. The game is based on a character who uses her superpower abilities to help people in their everyday lives. Okay, so yeah, that was debunked. Debunked! John Travolta may be older than you think. Let's find out. The photograph on the right was sold on eBay, and it claimed to be solid proof that actor John Travolta has been traveling between decades. This doesn't seem too far-fetched. The man in the photograph is unidentified. Meaning unidentified. Making it quite possible that it's John Travolta from an earlier time. Let me be the judge of that, since I'm looking at it. Not really. To me, no. I mean, John Travolta's been an actor for I don't know how long. For a long, long time. And done a lot of films over the years. And some films, he is in old attire. Okay, Marilyn, act normal. Is the next photo I'm about to read, you guys. Those natural and impromptu shots that our friends take and post on Instagram have seemingly been around much longer than we thought. In this photo, Marilyn Monroe looks away as another woman who literally looks like she's holding an iPhone. Snaps a pic of her. Is this a time-traveling millennial sharing her future picture-taking wisdom with Marilyn? I don't know. Then again, it's in black and white photos, so I have no idea. Most females in black and white photos, they look similar. Alec Baldwin or Millard Fillmore is the next one. From president to comedian, definitely an upgrade. Alec Baldwin isn't really that funny. Alec Baldwin is the splitting image of our nation's 13th president, Millard Fillmore. One has to ask, is this why Alec Baldwin's... oh god. Dump impersonations are so spot on?
From him being on SNL doing that, he has won 5 awards for that because his impression of Donald Dumbass Trump is spot on, perfect.
Was he governing our country in the 1850s?
I don't even think he was born.
No, he wasn't. But looking at the guy on the left, it does kind of look like him. A little bit. Adidas really are vintage. Everyone knows that Adidas are back in style. But in style from when exactly? Experts uncovered the remains of a mummified Mongolian woman who seemed to be wearing a red pair of Adidas shoes. Trendsetter or time traveler?
All day I dream about sex.
I don't know. Got may be realer than you think. Okay. Game of Thrones favorite Peter Dinklage. That's his last name, Dinklage. Has some explaining to do. The renowned actor who's had roles in such films as Chronicles of Narnia and Elf has a striking resemblance to the man featured in Diego Velsquaz's I'm going to end up butchering it. Velasquez's dwarf sitting on the floor. The painting from 1645 brings a key question to light. Is Game of Thrones based on Dinklage's past life? Oh my god. Mike, come here. Here's Dinklage here. This is basically... Okay, this is a guy who was in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
This
And
is
Harry
who
Potter
they
as well.
think is a past life of his. I mean, we all know that little people are not all alike.
It's 50-50, except only one major problem with both photos.
Okay.
Dinkler doesn't have big-ass ears that stick out like he's about fucking Dumbo about to fly
Well,
away.
Dinklage, yeah.
The other picture has fucking ears that you could fucking build houses in. So no, that's not even close. Although they also say that he looks like fucking Brad... what's his last name? Brad Williams. That's
Yeah.
They say that he looks like him too.
Yeah, and they also say that
And outside the little midget on Jackass.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Okay.
no.
We know, just by watching Warwick Davis, from when he started acting, even though he started acting as a child, to adult, he does Willow, then does Leprechaun, 1 through 6, and don't get me started on the last 2. He does not look like other guys with other people that have his condition. He looks completely different. Okay, Sean Penn and young Abraham Lincoln. Would that be before Abraham Lincoln learned how to brush his hair?
That wasn't a hair, that was a toupee beaver.
Before he was the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, born on February 12, 1809, practiced law in Springfield, Illinois. It's insane how much Sean Penn, born 150 years later, looks like Honest Abe. Penn has played a lawyer, but never a president. And yeah, duh. He did, however, portray politician Harvey Milk in Milk. I don't know if that's a TV series or what. I have no idea. Maybe Penn could play the politician so well because he has been alive for close to 200 years. We're not going to rule it out. Doesn't even fucking come close, in my opinion. Robert De Niro and Johann Voight. Oh. Johann Voight, born in 1695 in Germany, was a theological Biblophile. That's basically what it is. Bibliophile.
Sounds like you broke your lyric box on that one.
Oh shit. And preacher at the Bremen Cathedral. cut to legendary actor Robert De Niro, born almost 2.5 centuries later. As for portraying a man of religion, he was disguised as a monk in Hoodlums. Amazingly, these photos have not been doctored. They are most definitely historical twins, right down to the moles on their faces. Oh, that's just rude. At least, maybe that's what De Niro wants us to think. When in fact, he's been Voight this whole time. Okay, the one on the right, which is the photo painting I'm looking at, he does have a mole, but it's on the same side as De Niro's. But it's lower and not in the right area. The painting photo, the hair's sleeked back, where you can't even tell if there's a freaking sliver of hair out of place, because it's a painting. And De Niro's photo, his hair is kind of sleeked back, but it's still a little screwed up. And the mustache and beard does not even look close. Kind of looks like him, but not really. Okay. Tommy Lee Jones and Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson, born in 1808, became the 17th United States President after assuming duties upon President Abraham Lincoln's assassination. Over a century later, his doppelganger, Tommy Lee Jones, was born. Jones has played military leaders, but never a president. His political claim to fame, perhaps, is the fact that he was roommates with Vice President Al Gore in college. He'd make a great Andrew Johnson on screen, if he isn't Andrew Johnson already. Ugh. I can't say it wouldn't be possible, but I really don't know. He looks just like the guy. I mean, not really to the hair point, but the facial, yeah. Keanu Reeves and Paul do not. I think that's how, I know I probably butchered it. Paul Mounet was a French actor born in 1847. His claim to fame was the lead in 1909's silent black and white French version of Macbeth. Keanu Reeves is an American actor who tried his hand at Shakespeare in Much Ado About Nothing, but also has a hit list of vulnerable Hollywood blockbusters. It's eerie how much they look alike, almost to the point that maybe Keanu Reeves is so good because he's been working on films for over more than 100 years. The man is seeming to age backwards.
God, I wish I could do that.
I don't know. Keanu Reeves' forehead's fatter than the guy I'm looking at in the painting. The eyebrows in the painting are more fuller than Keanu Reeves. The hair is shorter than Keanu Reeves. And Keanu Reeves does not look good with the hairstyle he's got of the photo I'm looking at. And the facial, beard, and mustache doesn't come close to it either. I don't know. I don't really think so. But that's, of course, why I'm reading it. That's my opinion. That you guys can give your own. Christina Aguilera and Ginger Rogers. Ginger Rogers, born Virginia Catherine McMath in 1911, was a singer in the golden age of Hollywood, as well as Fred Astaire's dancing partner. Christina Aguilera, born in 1980, was hugely popular in what some have called the golden age of pop music. I beg your pardon.
I'm a genie and a model.
Please don't have me fucking remind me of that. In fact, I had to do that for fucking dance studio.
Sorry.
Well, fuck you not. Not only does she look like Rogers, but she also shares her singing and dancing talents. I wouldn't... I wouldn't know about the dancing. But, could a biopic about Rogers be in Aguilera's future? It's totally possible, especially if Aguilera is just an immortal Ginger Rogers in disguise. Christina Aguilera does not have a beauty mark. Ginger Rogers does. And Ginger Rogers had a better hairstyle than fucking Aguilera ever does. Chuck Norris and Vincent van Gogh. Or Van Gogh. Iconic Impressionist painter Vincent van Gogh was born in 1853 in the Netherlands. We're pretty sure that his doppelganger, Chuck Norris, aka aka Carlos Ray Norris, born over 8 decades later, never picked up a paintbrush. But the similarities between Van Gogh and the martial artists are uncanny. Right down to the ginger beard. Is Norris the famed artist and we just never noticed? Maybe Van Gogh decided to pick up the paintbrush and pick up the video camera as his new canvas. No. Chuck Norris does not look like this dude. Jimmy Fallon and Turkish revolutionist Mohir Kagan. Oh, yeah, I don't know. That's it. Trying to get rid of these fucking advertisements. Go to fucking hell. Okay. Mohir Kagan was born in 1946, almost 30 years before Fallon. Yet they are almost identical, including the mustache. When Fallon sports the stash, that's a really stupid pun. Kagan was the leader of the People's Liberation Party Front in Turkey, and a communist revolutionary in the Marxist Leninist vein. In 1972, just 2 years shy of when Fallon was born, he was killed by soldiers. Reincarnation? Or did Kayan fake his death and move to America to hide out as a comedian on late night TV? We're not ruling it out. Okay, Jimmy Fallon, I'm not a fan of his comedy, never was, and his Saturday Night Live skits were always fucking stupid. And so wasn't, my opinion, so wasn't him in the movies. But he does kind of look like the guy, but I wouldn't say right down to the mustache either. Okay, that's the end of that story, finally. I'm going to take a break. Paramike is going to do his first story of the Michael Jackson ranch that you said.
Want me to start off with that one?
Yeah, you mentioned that at the last episode. You wanted to do that one first.
Okie dokie, let's get to it. I'm trying to do multiple things over here. I'm trying to get music back on my cell phone since I had to do a hard restart on it because it decided to flip out on New Year's Day or New Year's night. But yeah, in the last episode I said that Michael Jackson, God rest his soul, the king of pop, Neverland Ranch was sold, which was nuts. Hearing about that, or seeing it, I should say, to a billionaire. This was on the day before Christmas Eve of last year. Michael Jackson's Neverland Ranch in the Santa Ynez Valley has found a new owner in billionaire's businessman Ron Burkle. If I said that right, Burkle.
Yeah, Burkle.
Burkle views the 2,700-acre property in Los Ovilos, or Ovolo, Avivos, whatever, Loivos, near Santa Barbara as a land banking opportunity, his spokesman said Thursday in an email. The Wall Street Journal reports the property was sold for $22 million to Burkle, an associate of the late pop star and co-founder of the investment firm YUCA IPA costs.
Huh.
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
The asking price of the property was $1 million in 2016.
Okay.
Then dropped to $67 million a year later.
Uh-huh.
In addition to a 12,500 square foot main residence,
Yeah.
and a 3,700 square foot pool house, the property has a separate building with a 50-seat movie theater and a dance studio.
Yeah. That's where Michael Jackson did his choreography when he did videos.
Mm.
But, well, he would learn the choreography if I remember correctly, because we actually had This Was It, the DVD, until it fucking broke when we got down here.
Yeah.
The way they were showing how he was rehearsing, he would rehearse his dance moves in his dance studio, and then rehearse it once he got on stage, before he started his concerts.
Basically, wherever he was performing for a concert.
Yeah.
Other features on the ranch are a Disney-style train station,
Yeah.
a firehouse, and a barn.
Yeah.
Burkle's spokesman said the billionaire had been eyeing Zaca Lake, which adjoins the property, for a new Soho House, a members-only club with locations in Los Angeles, Miami, New York, and Toronto. Okay, the first three I know of.
Yeah.
The last one, Toronto, which one are they talking about? Toronto, Canada, or Toronto, California?
Toronto, Canada.
Burkle ultimately decided the location was too remote and expensive for a club.
Duh.
Burkle is the controlling shareholder of Soho House. After Burke saw the property from the air, he put in an offer to purchase. I don't know if this is part of it.
I'm surprised Zach didn't buy it.
Nope, that's not part of it. But that comes from the LA Times.
Yeah.
So, that's what that one is.
I'm really surprised Zach didn't buy it to try to investigate it.
Yeah, I know.
But at least he does have his chair.
Yes, he's got the chair, which is kind of surprising. All right.
Which I'd like to know who sold that to him. Last I knew, his sister owned it.
Don't know. It could be Janet. It could be the other one that nobody really likes.
The Muppet Reject?
His mom,
No.
his dad, or one of his brothers.
No, his sister Janet took the majority of what she considered precious.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess apparently since she sold Zach the chair, apparently that was a little too hard for her to do to see.
Yeah, probably. Okay, now we're going to go to Skinwalker Ranch. The untold truth of Skinwalker Ranch. And I like the picture. There's a bunch of alien ships flying over like a desert valley or something. Yeah. It was a pretty cool picture, though. Of course, the way they're designed is kind of ridiculous.
But the question is, though, is Skinwalker Ranch government property?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Nobody was even allowed there to go on that property,
even
to investigate it.
Yeah, I know.
And if it was like open land,
yeah,
why the fuck were people not allowed to investigate or go on it?
I don't know. Well,
Please read.
we'll hopefully find out. But the picture is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 alien ships, all the same.
Yeah.
Going over what looks like the Grand Canyon in Nevada. But it says here, Nevada has Area 51. No shit. And New Mexico has that whole weather balloon incident they don't like talking about. Oh, that's something I didn't know about. However, when it comes to freaky UFO hotspots, all the UFO underoos get twangled. And they run like little bitches. In the southwest United States, a 512-acre property in Utah beats them both. Skinwalker Ranch doesn't just have name ripped from a campfire story. It's got decades upon decades of ghoulish anecdotes to match its eerie. Monkey ears? That's a weird way. From legends of witches
Yep.
and corporate integral to more UFO sightings than you can shake ray guns at.
Uh-huh.
This isn't a place you want to find yourself in during the middle of the night. Even if you make it out, you'll have alien gizmos embedded in your brain.
Sure.
That's only if aliens, if they really existed, can find brains in most of these fucking idiots. Because they don't. They're just a waste of space and a waste of sperm and a waste of amoeba.
In the words of Jeff Dunham doing Bubba J on one of his comedy specials, the difference between real aliens and
Illegal aliens.
the real aliens go back to where they came from. But with that being said, the way I look at it, if there are real aliens, and they see what the fuck's going on down here, and the fucking morons, not everybody, but just, you know who's a moron, why the fuck would they come down here?
That's
They
a
would
good
be
question.
Going, I don't want to deal with any of that shit.
I don't know. That's a good question. It goes on here. Skinwalker Ranch creepy reputation isn't a recent phenomenon,
Yeah.
but it's only gotten creepier with age.
I remember LaForge was so pissed because he couldn't bring us there.
Yeah, I know. And then it goes on and says, so strap on your tinfoil hat, buckle up, and get ready for a tale so bonkers it makes the X-Files look mild in comprehension.
Okay.
Here's the untold truth of Skinwalker Ranch. Sorry, guys, from the other side. I know you love the X-Files, but this is what they had to say about it. Okay, so what the heck is Skinwalker Ranch?
Well, just add a little bit. What the hell? Or what the fuck?
If you say the name Skinwalker Ranch
Yeah.
in a party full of normal people,
I prefer to be abnormal.
they'll probably look at you like you're an extraterrestrial. Or they'll just look at you like you're talking 5,000 different languages with 40 million heads. Or a wacky conspiracy theorist at best.
Yeah, that's all up north.
That's all over the goddamn planet.
Yeah, yeah.
They all need to be
Mostly
taken
north,
out.
though.
They all need to be alien raid out of fucking existence. That said, this seemingly incongruous plot of land is quite real, and it can even be found on Google Maps. Though you be the judge of whether the stories are a load of bunk or not.
Okay.
Wait, what stories? That's how that one starts.
Uh-huh.
Oh, right. When it's not called Skinwalker Ranch, this place is also known as the UFO Ranch. And some people call it the hold on.
Shaman?
Thank you. Ranch. I couldn't even. Words are hard, people. Forgive me. After the family that was driven out of there, more on them later. Oh, the fucking cliffhanger teaser. You bastards! To start with, what you need to know about this place, as described by Vice, is that it's basically the Earth's black hole.
Mm-hmm.
Or in this case, the Bermuda Triangle. Here, people claim that UFOs hover in the sky, little green men mutilate cows, and paranormal activity happens entirely too often. Now, sure, weird sightings happen all over the world, but it's believed that such incidents occur way more often at Skidwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Well, if it was, then it should have been blown the shit out of all year long and all decade long.
Yeah.
Now here's the question that they put. Why the creepy name? Well, I think that's the only good name they could call it was Skinwalker Ranch. What other name could they come up with? Oh, that's right, they can't come up with shit.
What's the reason for the name?
I don't know. If you want to keep people far away from a place calling it Skidwalker Ranch is a pretty good way to do so. That said, this nickname wasn't applied frivolously. It has deep cultural roots. Well, I want to call something like that Skinwalker Ranch if you wanted to keep blithering idiots away.
Yeah.
I would call it the Area 51 I'll Shoot Your Ass Ranch. That'll keep motherfuckers away. Skinwalkers, are sinister creatures derived from many North American indigenous mythologists, but they are particularly common in Navajo mythology.
And Cherokee. It affects Scotty was both.
According to Skeptoid, or Skeptold, wait a minute. Hang on. Yeah, I was right. Skeptoid. The eye looks like an elf from the distance. These vile beasts are known for their ability to put on the skin of an animal, like a coyote, and transform from a human witch or warlock into a furry four-legged creature. Boom! There goes that motherfucker.
Unless if you're Bishop Aves' second wife. Sees one.
Shit, you might just disintegrate. You might just disintegrate. Skinwalker animals tend to look slightly off, though, whether due to disappropriated features or glowing red eyes.
Yeah.
These days, whenever people claim to spot skinwalkers, they usually describe them as resembling half human, half animal freak, the likes of which usually only turn up in B movies.
Yeah.
More like F movies. Sorry.
Depending on what they are.
So, as you've probably guessed, the fact that this little place in Utah, or as I call it, Hat-U, got named after these monsters is not a good sign. Oh, really? According to the Las Vegas Mercury, it's been said that members of the nearby UTE tribe, or is it Ute?
Ute
tribe,
maybe.
have long considered the Uinta Basin region of Utah, where Skinwalker Ranch is saturated, to be a forbidden, toxic place where unearthly tremors prey upon materials. Yeah, that sounds like what we have. Or, I'm sorry, mortals. Well, that sounds like what we have in the White House. That's about to be fucking kicked out. E.T. reports up the wazoo. Or, in this case, up your ass! In the present day, of course, Skinwalker Ranch isn't necessarily known for witches. Really?
Beg your pardon.
Rather, it's a place where people see flying saucers. Or they're just fucking delusional because they have no brain cells.
Well, if that's the case, then Skinwalker Canyon could have UFO sightings.
Yeah, no shit. In a 1975 piece of bioscience, plant psychologists, Frank Salisbury claimed to have found hundreds of UFO reports originating from Utah and nearby areas, each one weirder than the last. These weird happenings continue after Salisbury published his findings to, in 1978, for example, the Desert News wrote that a few separate individuals had seen an unearthly metallic aircraft floating in the air above them. That some decade, a man named Ray Kelsey claimed that he and 250 other people witnessed a UFO hovering over an oil rig. Well, maybe their spacecraft takes oil for gas. They gotta keep flying somehow.
They sure that it ain't military? Because there have been reports that it's military craft.
Yeah, I know, from Area 51. Kelsey says this very rig later exploded, according to the Desert News, and the bosses told their men to hush up about it. Or in this case, shut the fuck up about it, you assholes!
Doesn't surprise me.
Perhaps the most bizarre story of all comes from Paul Pedersen, a businessman who claimed to have encountered a flying saucer in 1964. Think he was hitting the hooch too much in that time. While driving home near Salt Lake, he spotted humanoid figures in the window, highlighted by an ethical green light.
It's called a green light.
It just says ethereal green light. You mess up the word.
I know.
And these aliens telepathically asked him to beam up with them. You sure these motherfuckers weren't radiated?
Or high off their fucking ass. Due to the fact in the 60s, as well as the 70s, they were doing a lot of that shit.
Yeah, I know. Penderson answered in his mind, not out loud, by thinking what his wife and kids. That doesn't make sense. By thinking about his wife and kids.
No, it doesn't.
And how he couldn't leave them behind. Sorry. Can't leave. I got wife and kids, man. Eventually, or evidently, the ETs, or extraterrestrials, as they're known, were okay with that excuse. And they flew back into the mountains. Hey, those are some nice aliens, huh? Do these motherfuckers have wings just to flew back into the mountains? Show me a fucking alien with wings, please. I would love to see it.
If you're doing a lot of shrooms and a lot of fucking acid, you're gonna see a lot of shit.
No shit. Now here's the next one for it. The high school teacher who keeps an eye on the sky.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I look at the sky at night here and there.
Yeah, but you're not a teacher. Yeah, but you're not a teacher.
So?
And of course teachers are stupid.
Shit, some of my old science classes were about astrology and stars.
True. Every science fiction blockbuster has the one character, usually an older guy,
Yeah.
who's been keeping tabs on this wacky nonsense for a long time and knows more than everybody else in the room.
Prime example, Independence Day. Will Smith. It's actually really good.
Yeah, and that other idiot there.
Ugh. No, but he's actually an example of what you just read.
Yeah, I know. When it comes to Skinwalker Ranch, the man you want to talk to is a retired high school teacher named Joseph Jr. Hicks. A fucking gay redneck! According to the Daily Beast, Mr. Hicks has been following Utah's extraterrestrial or ET scene ever since 1951. After an incident where he believes that he and his students saw a UFO floating over their heads. In the following decades, Hicks has become the number one authority on all things skinwalkers. Bullshit.
Yeah.
He's the one who first sued, I can't say this one, Sussed,
Yeah.
out the Ute legends of the skinwalkers. And he has also cataloged literally hundreds of UFO reports from the area. When interviewed by reporter George Knapp in 2002, he estimated that at least half of the Uinta Basin's 50,000 residents had seen alien weirdness in the sky, from floating lights to flying metallic cigars.
Uh-huh.
Insert your shit here. That's, well, a bold estimate for sure. No word on where he got those numbers or if they check out.
Uh-huh.
So back then in 1951, I guess they didn't have fact checkers. But yet we have them now, so I'm surprised in 2002 George Knapp didn't do the fact checking.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's right, because there's no fucking files. The scary story of the Sherman family. Ooh, that must be the family that lived there. And they have a picture of don't know what the fuck this picture is, but it's weird. Enter the 1990s. No thanks. For the first half of the decade, nobody lived at Skinwalker Ranch. That all changed when the Shermans moved in. And oh boy, did they come to regret it. The Sherman family, composed of a husband,
Yeah.
a wife, and two dingleberry brats, spilled the beans to the Desert News in 1996, the year I was not in school, claiming that in their 2 years on the ranch, they've seen multiple types of UFOs, ranging from orange doorways in the sky to an alien aircraft bigger than a football field. One time, a light followed their car. Another time, their dogs went nuts over floating voices coming from 25 feet above their heads, speaking in an alien language. Well, I'm sure they weren't Russian or any other type of language. Crop circles kept being formed in their yard, according to the Daily Beast. It's alleged that a 7-foot tall humanoid figure appeared on the ranch. That's one tall motherfucking alien.
Yeah.
And one time, as written on Vice, the Sherman family says that they were stalked by wolves, that even when shot by a high-power rifle, wouldn't die. Nightmare fuel much. That's how that part ends. Terry Sherman, the father, openly speculated on whether they might be running into evidence of a top secret government project. Well, governments are a bunch of assholes that always pull bullshit, so I wouldn't be too surprised from them fucking morons. Others, of course, were more inclined to think it was aliens, ghosts, or skinwalkers. However, the thing that really messed with the Sherman family's lives wasn't the lights in the sky, but rather the horrific things being done to their cattle. Cattle mutilations aren't a joke. Well, no shit, but that's why we got beef! That's why we eat it! When you hear about aliens beaming up cows, of all things, it's easy to crack wise. Okay, before I continue, I'm going to insert something here. You never hear of extraterrestrials or spacecrafts anywhere beaming up cows.
No.
In the word.
It's a classic mutilation.
You don't even hear much about that neither. Until just recently on an episode of Ghost Adventures when they did it.
Yeah. Stardust Ranch.
But crack-wise, that's not a good way to end something.
No, it's not.
However, the nightmarish predicament that the Sherman family found themselves in this regard was no laughing matter. As the Desert News explained in 1996, 4 of the family's prized cows, and an important part of their income, vanished from thin air. Another 3 were found mutilated in various brutal ways that you don't want to hear about. When Terry Sherman asked other ranchers about this insanity, they confirmed that their own cattle had been mutilated in the past, and that the local authorities hadn't been able to help. Yeah, you never can rely on those dumbass douchebags, because they don't want to waste the time.
When it comes to hunters, people that hunt game and stuff like that, especially deer. I know there's tools out there that can do the exact same.
Yeah.
I mean, my opinion on that, I don't really know. I mean, like all people, some relatives on my father's side, they hunt game, which I'm not really okay with.
Yeah, I know.
But for some reason, they were talking one day, and I happened to be there. One of my biological father's idea of camping or something like that, which I fucking hate, brought me and my brothers Alex and Richie one time under a little excursion. For some reason, UFOs came up with the animal mutilation stuff like that. I mean, me personally, I've really tried to not really hear that shit due to the fact I was learning on how to. I had just actually killed my first deer. I mean, necessity-wise, and I guess deer growth-wise, I can understand both sides. But, I was in one of those moods after I did that. In fact, I actually wasn't allowed to use a rifle or a shotgun. And due to the fact my father brought my mother, and she was already on my nerves at that point.
Yeah.
I thought, you know what? Just to fuck with her. And she was the one that brought up the animal mutilations and stuff like that. I just simply turned around and said, basically, dumped. It was an adult deer, but I don't know how big it was. And it was a male.
Probably a 12-point buck.
I dropped it in front of her and said, here's Bambi.
Probably a 12-point buck.
Well, that got her to shut the fuck up. That's all I can tell you. She didn't bother me for about a year.
Alright, we're going to continue on with the story. Out of my way.
Continue.
A later article in the same paper reported an even more frightening cattle incident that occurred on March 10th, 1997. I think I was working construction that time through a temp agency. On that morning, less than an hour after a healthy 84-pound calf was tagged, the animal's corpse was found in the middle of the field in broad daylight.
Yeah.
With all of the blood drained from its body. According to those on the scene, there was no blood in the field,
Chupacabra?
no blood in the dirt, and nothing in the calf itself.
Yeah. Chupacabra? Is usually the first one to blame.
Whoever the predator was, the things being done to those cows were sickeningly inhumane, and there's still no good explanation as to why. Well, that sickeningly inhumane of that happening, why don't you bastards go to the slaughterhouse, because they do the same damn thing?
Yeah, you do.
Here's another question. Where's the evidence? Whenever people heard claims about the paranormal, their first question is always, so where's the evidence? And as usual, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Stories are one thing, and footage is another. But where's the proper evidence? Your stories have to match with the footage for evidence if you have it. But if there's not, you're just a fucking moron! That don't need to be in this field. Well, regardless of whether one believes in UFOs or not, it seems unlikely that the Shermans would lie about their predicament.
Yeah.
The violence, continual loss of their cattle took a heavy hit on the family's income. Not to mention the psychological damage it must caused. And it's eventually caused them to move far away. Yeah, because they all became waterhead retards and going da, 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 da. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there. Now that doesn't mean that there were necessarily aliens, ghouls, or what have you. And sure, there have been occasional instances of a person ruining their business for the sake of the good hoax. As the true story of Bigfoot demonstrates, but why would the entire family make it up? In any case, the experiences that the Shermans suffered through, presuming it all really happened, are horrific, whether they were caused by little gray beings or perhaps other human beings with some mean-spirited agenda.
Yeah.
Currently, though, the only public evidence of alien activity at Skinwalker Ranch is the unusual myriad of blurry photographs, videos, eyewitnesses' accounts, and other not-so-great proof that usually surfaces with these urban legends. So stay tuned, but don't hold your breath. Or in this case, don't try to figure out because you don't have a brain.
Yeah.
Okay, this is, I didn't know this was part of the story. The Great Robert Bigelow Connection is the next part to this story.
Why don't you take a break? I'll take over. Okay. Next story I got. We're going to talk a little bit about some parrot music.
Say what?
30 musicians with legendarily long careers. Music is a part of paranormal. Whether people want to try to fight me on it or not.
Really?
You have energy. It creates energy.
Oh, yeah, I know that. That's why they do concerts and everything with a big-ass crowd.
You even feel energy when you listen to it in the house.
That's just because your body wants to move to the music. That's not paranormal. That's fucking fact.
Let me explain here. It's no secret that the music business can be a cruel and hostile enterprise. And one that's known to kick an act when they're down. That's actually true.
No shit, Sherlock.
In turn, even successful musicians can find themselves without a contract or an audience as soon as the creative well runs dry. That does happen. Nevertheless, through the midst of one-hit wonders, and short-lived careers, there has come a range of certifiable mainstays. These are the artists who haven't just endured throughout the decades, but managed to keep pace with the industry's shape-shifting landscape. In some cases, they've remained relevant by changing up their sound or adopting new production techniques. In other cases, the fan base is so broad and loyal that no amount of mediocre output can dismantle their careers. Meanwhile, the longest running acts are more than mere purveyors of classic tunes. Since music is so fundamental to Western culture, its foremost veterans will be remembered for decades and possibly centuries to come. In the main manner that contemporary society still places its respect to Mozart, Bach, and Beethoven, so too will future societies honor the Rolling Stones, Bob Dylan, Miles Davis, and others. To that end, established musical acts carry the torch of history every time they drop an album or hit the stage. In commemoration of those who stayed the course, Stacker presents 30 musicians with legendarily long careers. The list was complied using various internet-based sources, including Billboard and Rolling Stone. Being that there was a fairly large pool from which to choose, Stacker tried to focus on artists who didn't just survive throughout the decades, but kept up with or even defined multiple trends. For example, Louis Armstrong burst onto the scene in the 1920s. It didn't release his best-selling album, Hello Dolly, until 1964. By contrast, artists like James Brown and Chuck Berry, who aren't included into the list. Hold on.
You bastards!
Mostly remains synonymous with specific periods of output, despite their long and massively influential careers. The list also strives for a certain degree of musical diversity. To that end, it features country artists, snore, jazz icons, rock legends, soul singers, and classical pop vocalists alike. What results is a comparative overview of music history itself by way of the medium's most accomplished performers. And let's see. First we have here is Herbie Hancock.
I have one of his songs on my system.
Why are you talking so slow? So low.
I don't know. But I do have one of his songs on my system.
Yeah.
And I seen the video for it, and it's freaky.
Yeah.
But I like it.
I'm going to say the last name again. Hancock! Keyboardist. Oh, that's a fucking title.
Yes. He's a keyboardist. He plays the keyboard.
Yeah, I know that.
Fucking awesome.
Herbie Hancock was a classical music prodigy, as early as age 7, eventually transitioning into jazz. Throughout the 1960s, he played piano with the Miles Davis Quintet, while simultaneously working on various solo projects and collaborations. Still active to this day, he remains best known for the 1973 album Headhunters and his early 1980s keyboard anthem, Rocket.
That's the one I have.
And Rocket is spelled R-O-C-K-I-T. Not rocket as in when you shoot in the fucking sky or out of your ass.
Or in this case, up your ass.
Johnny Cash.
God rest his soul.
One of the most prolific recording artists of all time. Johnny Cash released 96 albums over his near 50-year career. Early songs such as I Walk the Line, which is actually a movie, and Folsom Prison Blues, don't know what that is, helped define his unique brand of subdued grit. Just when his popularity seemed down for the count, Cash launched a major 1990s comeback with help from producer Rick Rubin. Next, the Isley Brothers. That's I-S-L-E-Y Brothers. It's a family affair for soul outfit. The Isley or Isley Brothers, who first formed as a gospel, quartet of siblings back in the early 1950s. Upon the death of Vernon Isley, the group became a trio and released the song Shout in 1959. Is that the one that plays on the radio?
I think so, but I'm not sure.
You never played that at any of the DJ gigs?
No, the only one I played was from Shaggy, which is Dance and Shout.
Yeah, I know that.
That's the only one, and then Jericho did one and everything on one of his DVDs.
Okay.
And those are the only ones I remember.
Alright. Ronald Isley continued to perform lead vocals over the subsequent decades, which saw the group bringing in new family members while adapting to various musical trends. Doesn't really explain much here. Let's see. Next. Frank Zappa. Self-taught composer Frank Zappa landed his first recording gig as early as 1962 when he provided the soundtrack to a low-budget film called The World's Greatest Sinner. Soon after, he teamed up with the Mothers of Invention and released the landmark double album Freak Out. Its sprawling array of genres and styles laid the groundwork for a similarly diverse career, which featured everything from top-selling pop songs to complex musical arrangements. Musical arrangements puts me to sleep. But I can't fall asleep when it comes to Phantom of the Opera.
Sometimes I want to stab my ears out.
Which song? And it can't be the main one.
All of them.
Hey, I think it's probably because I was in that as a kid when I was like 17.
And I can't stand that high screaming bitch that's in the movie neither. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I still say when I could do it, I had the better vocal. David Bowie, music fucking icon.
God rest his soul.
They don't call David Bowie a musical chameleon for nothing. Not only did the rock icon shift from one style to the next throughout the 1970s and early 1980s, but he set various aesthetic templates along the way. While his latter-day output wasn't as impactful as his earlier efforts, his singular aura and mystique never waned. And that's actually a fact. Cliff Richard. I don't know who the fuck that is. But we're going to find out who it is, if anyone else out there doesn't know who that is. With help from backing group The Drifters, later The Shadows, this British pop legend released Move It in 1958. Often credited as the first British classic rock song, it kicked off a massively successful career that's still going to this day. Cliff Richard's 2018 effort, Rise Up, his first album of original material in 14 years, peaked at number 4 on the UK's official chart. Tony Bennett. And Paramike just lifted his eyebrows at me like, huh? Variable institution onto himself. Croner. I'm not calling him a Croner. That's what I'm reading. Tony Bennett scored. It's funny how they say scored. Like someone in high school trying to get fucking laid for the first time. Scored his first number 1 single with the 1951 ballad Because of You. Numerous hits would follow, making him one of the few artists to have new albums land on the charts in each of the last 7 decades. As if all his achievements weren't impressive enough, Bennett is also an accomplished painter. And again, Paramike just shook his head on that one too. Okay, if you want to say Tony Bennett made up one of the few artists to have new albums land on charts every decade. Not last 7 decades, but I dared who thinks that should say that in front of people who are fans of Frank Sinatra. As well as the rest of the pack. Because I guarantee you those motherfuckers will go get put down quick.
The only two I liked out of the whole thing was Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. The other one, not so much.
Frank Sinatra wasn't that bad. He's a fucking icon, and he's Italian.
He wasn't Italian, he was a Guinea. Dean Martin was more of Italian than Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra was just a Guinea.
Chick Corea, how you want to pronounce it. Pianist, that's piano player. Pianist! And keyboardist, Chick Corea, a Corey or Cora, began his career in the early 1960s, playing alongside Stop! Take a drink, I stumbled! Playing alongside jazz giants such as Herbie Mann, Mago Santamaria, and Stan Getz. In 1968, he joined Miles Davis's band and thus became a central figure in the emerging jazz fusion genre. Eventually breaking out on his own, Cora still releases new music to this day. I am a rock person, so I don't know. Aerosmith. Currently in the midst of a Las Vegas residency, Aerosmith remains one of the most storied acts in music history. Their first wave of success came in the mid-1970s, with the release of hard rock albums such as Rocks and Toys in the Attic. Later bringing in outside songwriters, the band reinvented itself as one of the best-selling acts in the late 1980s and early 1990s.
A little history here of the lead singer of Aerosmith,
Yes.
Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
Before he became Aerosmith, he was a Christian singer. And I know this because I played his Christian music so many times, and one of the top number ones of his songs as a Christian artist was Cash Cow.
Okay, I know you worked at the clubs I bartended at as the main DJ. But I don't ever remember hearing you play that.
No, I never played it at any place that you worked at. It was on. No, it's when I was back when I was young in my radio days at WTCC 90.7 FM in Springfield, Massachusetts.
Oh yeah. Where I went to high school.
Tuesday morning from 3 to 6 a.m. I played his song Cash Cow. He was a Christian artist before he transitioned into what he is today.
Oh, the Screecher.
Just a little fun fact.
Bing Crosby. According to some experts, Bing Crosby was the first multimedia star of the 20th century. Whilst today's audiences might know him best as the man behind White Christmas, or in my version, White Shitmas, that song merely skirts the surface of an accomplished and influential career. Everyone from Frank Sinatra and Perry Como took direct cues from his legendary vocal talent. Louis Armstrong. It's virtually impossible to overstate the importance of Louis Stachmo Armstrong, who ranks among the most pivotal figures in all of American music. After cutting his teeth in The Big Easy, the young trumpeter moved to Chicago in the early 1920s and quickly rose to fame. Not only would his versatile talent influence various decades and eras of jazz music, but his crossover success helped tear down racial boundaries. Everybody should know who this is. Pink Floyd. Despite their origins as a space rock outfit, Pink Floyd's legacy is famously grounded by perennial turbulence and dispute. What began in the mid-1960s as a cornerstone of the British psychedelic scene continued to evolve over the 5 decades that followed. It also makes for a brilliantly diverse oeuvre, which includes timeless albums like The Wall. I'm going to repeat that. The Wall. And The Dark Side of the Moon. Which again I'm going to repeat. The Dark Side of the Moon. Petulia, however you want to pronounce her first name, Clark. No E. And pretty sure she's not related to Doug, my stepdad. English singer Petulia Clark was just 9 years old when she made her broadcast debut on BBC Radio, spontaneously soothing listeners to the wake of a Nazi air raid. Oh, that's real nice to put in a freaking paragraph. In the 1960s, chart-topping songs like Downtown and I Know a Place helped make her the First Lady of the British invasion. Continuing a career that spans 7+ decades, she's currently scheduled to star in an upcoming revival of Mary Poppins. Oh God, no. Not again. Another one of those fucking Disney movies I want to check out the fucking window because Alex kept letting his daughter fucking listen to it. And watch it! Not dissing on the original one. The original Mary Poppins. She was actually, in a way, kind of funny. When she wasn't singing.
Yeah, that was her and Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. Didn't they come out with Mary Poppins 2? Like some years ago?
They were supposed to, but they didn't do it for some odd reason, and nobody knows why still to this day.
I think that might be why. Let's see, the next week. If people really don't know who this is, they need to slap themselves. Or have someone slap you. Elton John.
Sir Elton John. Get it right.
It doesn't say Sir Elton John in the article, I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just throwing that in there.
One doesn't need to see Rocket Man to know that Elton John's career is as long as it is accomplished. After teaching himself to play the piano at the age of 4, he went on to become one of the best-selling acts in the world, from Your Song up to Circle of Life. And beyond, his repertoire remains second to none.
Which with the movie Lion King that came out was bullshit because they replaced him with somebody else singing the damn song.
Because remember, back then Disney was douchey to fucking people that are gay.
I know. That's why Disney ended up getting sued by Sir Elton John because they made somebody else sing what he created.
I know that.
And I'm proud of him for doing that. Fuck you, Disney. You need a big, nasty, diseased dildo up your ass.
Well, saying that, and the fact that you're a Phil Collins fan, who would you put best in the room? Elton John, who started before Phil Collins did, or Phil Collins?
Both. Due to the fact that both of them are from Over Pond.
Huh?
Due to the fact that they are both from Over Pond.
Yeah, I know.
And everything, so I put it in the room, both.
Yeah, the funny thing is though, with Elton John, when he sings, you can't tell he's from England. With Phil Collins,
I know that's what caught my ears as well. Is that wait a second, Sir Elton John is from overseas.
Yep.
Somewhere in the UK area. Phil Collins, same. But when he comes here to America, he has his accent from over the pond here and doesn't do English version.
Yeah.
Of singing like Elton John does due to the fact he's from over the pond and he comes here and he sings perfect.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, huh? But with the music of Phil Collins here in America, it sounds perfect English.
Yeah, I know.
You can understand every single syllable, consonant, vowel in the music. But when he's home,
Yeah.
like Elton John goes home, they sing it in their native speaking,
Yeah.
which is weird.
I don't know. Another one of my biological dad's favorite singers, and I can't in music makes me want to scream. Neil fucking Diamond. Before launching his meteoric solo career, Neil Diamond panned the hit song "I'm a Believer" for the Monkees. He became a popular solo act soon after, selling over 100 million albums and scoring 13 top 10 singles. Diamond is such a consummate performer that a recent diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, ooh, that has to suck. Wait, doesn't Michael J. Fox have that?
Yes.
Okay. Hasn't stopped him from making the occasional live performance. Everybody, some people's favorite material girl. Madonna. And one of my brother Alex's bad fucking choices to sing. Brother Richie did pretty good, but the outfit he chose wasn't. Sorry, bro, I had to throw it out there. That was actually true. The once undisputed queen of pop didn't arrive on the scene as much as she did completely dominated overnight. Her early singles like Everybody and Burning Up became dance floor staples in the club scene, paving the way for an explosive debut album. Madonna has reinvented herself repeatedly in the time since to perennial chart-topping effect. U2, as in the band U2. After winning a talent show in 1978, post-punk outfit U2 used their prize money to record a demo and build up a local fan base. It was an as auspicious start to a long and storied journey, which would see the band embracing a broad swath of styles and themes. When 2017 Songs of Experience soared to the top of the Billboard chart, U2 became the fourth musical act in American history to score a #1 album in 4 straight decades. Cher. As one half of the husband and wife duo Sonny and Cher, this iconic singer kicked off her career with the 1965 single I Got You Babe, which she redid with fucking Beavis and Butthead in the fucking video.
Wasn't that Sharon Bunny's Bono song?
Yeah, well, apparently, hold on. This iconic singer kicked off her career with the 1965 single I Got You Babe. Thinking away, I do remember she was with him at the time, but I don't know. Performing as a solo act around the same time, Cher quickly established herself as an autonomous female force. In 1998, her hit song Believe was both a personal bestseller and the best-selling single by a female artist in UK chart history. But, apparently, I Got You Babe, apparently she was solo. After her and Sonny broke up, she might have went solo then. I don't know.
Don't know either, but I know that was a Sonny and Cher song.
Nah. Well, I also remember she redid it for fucking Beavis and Butthead in the fucking video. Not sure why. Diana Ross. Oh wait, I know why. Beavis and Butthead did that fucking movie. I think that's why she did it. Diana Ross broke onto the scene as the lead singer for the Supremes, also known as America's most successful vocal group to date. Her subsequent solo career is likewise the stuff of legend, thanks to hit songs such as I'm Coming Out, which is actually in the Trolls movie, in the first Trolls movie, and Ain't No Mountain High Enough. Once dubbed the female entertainer of the century by Billboard, she won a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2012. Tina Turner.
Oh, and, little spoiler alert here of Diana Ross.
Yeah.
She was also on The Masked Singer,
Yeah, she was.
trying to restart her career, and she failed.
As was Aretha Franklin. And there's several other legends.
Yep.
Tina Turner first turned heads as the lead singer of the Ike and Tina Turner Revue, cultivating a powerful R&B sound. In the wake of her rocky marriage, wouldn't really call her marriage rocky, and subsequent divorce, she embarked on a solo career starting in the 1970s. Her 1984 album Private Dancer, and its hit single, What's Love Got to Do With It, sparked a major comeback on the world stage.
Sounds like a bad porno DVD.
What? Of Tina Turner and her husband? Or her ex-husband?
No, just the name of the DVD. Sound like a bad porno name for a DVD.
Well, I know in '84 that was actually one her hit song on that album. Bruce Springsteen, who Dave Schrader from Doctor's Radio still fucking likes. With the release of this year's Western Stars, Bruce Springsteen cracked the Billboard Top 10 for the 20th time in his prolific career. The tireless singer released a string of acclaimed albums throughout the 1970s before going to the next level with 1984's Born in the USA. At 69, everybody's favorite number, The Boss is still exhibiting the energy he did in his glory days. Barbra Streisand.
Yawn!
Few performers are as acclaimed as Barbra Streisand. Winner of just about every award the entertainment industry can dole out. A Broadway star at the age of 19. Bitch. She released her debut album just 1 year later. Songs like People and The Way We Were endure as signature tunes and American standards alike. Well, I know she was in a movie that George Carlin did, where George Carlin played a gay guy. I just don't know the name of it, and I really don't care. Frank Sinatra. When Crenner... I hate that fucking word. Or that fucking term. Frank Sinatra took the stage for the first time in 1995. It marked the end of a truly prolific career. Bolstered by his signature good looks and an impeccable voice, Old Blue Eyes first began topping Best Vocalist polls in the early 1940s. After waning in popularity, he resurged in 1980 with the hit song New York, New York, which I still say it sounds like fucking Dean Martin. And his other one, and Frank Sinatra's song, not New York, New York, but a different one, sounds like Dean Martin. Sometimes I can't really tell the damned. Miles Davis. After dropping out of Juilliard in the 1940s, trumpeter Miles Davis became a pivotal figure in everything from hard bop to jazz fusion. What the hell's hard bop? Over 50 years, he would flirt with or pioneer a substantial array of moods and styles, which would be blues. Albums such as Kinda Blue and In a Silent Way are full-blown cornerstones of music history. Willie Nelson, which he wasn't that bad in the Dukes of Hazzard movie.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
Oh shit.
He should have been dead long ago. But he's still kicking, I'm surprised.
No shit. One of country's, which again, country I've run out of the room. Music's top most iconic and enduring figures, Willie Nelson has released over 90 studio albums to date. Before breaking out as a solo star, he penned hit tunes such as Crazy and Funny How Time Slips Away for other artists. Upon its release in 1978, his album Stardust remained on the country chart for 10 years in a row.
Damn! That's something I didn't know about. I didn't even know that was possible.
Oh shit. Van Morrison. Cooling from a broad spectrum of influences, Van Morrison formed the rock group Them in 1964. Them does not really sound too much of a rock band.
No, it doesn't.
Embarking on a solo career soon after, he released landmark albums such as Moondance and Astral Weeks. That's Astral Weeks. Numerous decades and albums later, he's still recording and performing at 73.
Jesus Lord!
The Rolling Stones. Mick fucking Jagger.
Mick Monkey!
Oh, I'm sorry, Mick Backbone.
Adam Levine. Adam Levine. With that song, I Can Move Like Jagger or stuff, do that shit like Jagger.
Yeah.
He's actually making fun of him.
Yeah, and also one of the judges on The Voice.
I don't know if he is now.
I heard rumors that he was supposed to leave The Voice, but
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I heard too.
I still see him there.
From the early days of the British invasion up to recent tours, the Rolling Stones have remained synonymous with classic rock and roll. Signature tunes like I Can't Get No Satisfaction helped define the 1960s sound, while tracks such as Brown Sugar did the very same thing for the 1970s. Frontman Mick Jagger recently underwent heart surgery, Ooh, that sucks. Not that it stopped him from jumping back on stage. Okay, so after he had heart surgery, he went right back on. Paul McCartney. Between his stint in a little band called The Beatles and his epic solo career, Sir James Paul McCartney occupies a space all his own. His songs and accomplishments are like a crash course in rock history itself, with every conceivable honor and benchmark to show for it. Last year's Egypt station gave him his first #1 Billboard album in over 36 years.
I just saw something recently that one of his band members
Yeah.
passed away.
That sucks.
Yeah, and it wasn't CV-19.
Okay.
It was what you just said. Heart
failure?
attack. Yeah.
Okay. Stevie Wonder. Child prodigy Stevie Wonder would not let a little blindness get in his way, signing with Motown's Tamla label at 11. When his single Fingertips landed at #1 in 1963, he became the youngest American artist to top the Billboard chart. His hottest streak would come the following decade, with the release of groundbreaking albums like Talking Book and Songs in the Key of Life. And last one, Bob Dylan. Folk rock icon Bob Dylan arrived in New York's Greenwich Village in the take a drink of stubble. Folk rock icon Bob Dylan arrived in New York's Greenwich Village in the early 1960s, taking the local scene by storm, thanks to songs such as Blowin' in the Wind and A Hard Rain's Gonna Fall. That just sounds he has a really bad... That just sounds like he don't really,
Can't come up with a good name title for a
Thank
song?
He quickly became popular music's foremost protest singer. Didn't know what that means. It was merely the beginning of a still active career, which has experienced numerous peaks and valleys. That's the last of that article.
Yay!
And you can continue yours here.
I'll do it another time. I'm getting
Sure.
a little hungry. Sorry, guys. My stomach is a little hungry right now, which is kind of weird at 20 minutes to 6 on today's date. But we'll continue more of this with the Skinwalker Ranch another time. It's going to take me a few days to get this one up online
Yeah.
with our podcast distribution sites and for our YouTube channel as well. So that'll do it for me, Paramike, and in the Deep Dark Dungeon that I don't give a fuck, that will do it for.
I'm Paralore.
And we say,
Bye.
what, no laugh?
What?
What, no laugh?
I don't feel like it.
Okay.
Not today.